Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fourth and Two podcast for episode number 4.
Yeah.
Already on episode number 4.
Flying.
And today what we got in store for you guys is we're rolling straight with the series we've been doing. Actually rounding out the series. Today we're going to be talking about top 10 fantasy football tight ends.
Tight ends.
Yep, that's what we're talking about today. So
very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
And fun, honestly.
Fun and a very interesting list.
Tight ends are like the position that like it's fun to talk about.
Right.
Right? Like there's a lot of like guys out there.
Yep.
That are just like solid, and then like there's some guys out there you're like, I think they're gonna be good, but I'm not 100% sure. But I project them, you know.
Yeah, to me, I always have a hard time, especially drafting tight ends in fantasy football because, man, to me, I hate to say this, but if you don't get top 5, top 6, maybe kind of guys, the rest are kind of all interchangeable to some degree. It's pretty rare. But anyways, nonetheless. We've got a full episode of content for you guys.
Yeah.
So let's roll into it. Jerome, why don't you start off with your number 10, dude?
Yeah, so my number 10, let's look. So my number 10 is a guy that I don't know why, I forget about this guy a lot. He is a guy that, you know, like, he's consistent in and out every week. He rarely gets hurt, you know what I mean? And so this guy, I mean, he puts up consistent numbers, like I said, rarely gets hurt. Kind of a darling to me. I really like the offense he plays in. They can be pass heavy. They can be just throwing the ball left and right.
Yeah.
And so
he's in a good position.
Good position. There's not too many mouths to feed.
Oh, okay.
Right?
That's good.
So essentially, I'm going to give you his name. His name is Dallas Goedert.
Oh, Goedert at 10.
Goedert at 10. Right?
I'm not mad at it. Yeah, I think Goddard's in a good spot. I think Hurts likes playing football with him.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there's only really, when it comes to throwing the ball, he is a third option. That's why he's at
technically,
10. Like, if he was, like, the number 1 or 2 option, like some of these other guys, then it's like, okay, I'll move him up. But being the third option, there's not too many people there. There's not too many mouths to feed. You got A.J. Brown.
Yep.
Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, unless Saquon takes some of that.
Saquon could take some of that.
That should be the question mark.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Who do you got number 10?
My number 10 is a guy that last season I didn't write off, but I didn't really understand everybody talking about him for a bit.
Yeah.
He's been around for a little while. And again, he's not one of those guys that honestly, I feel like his name hasn't come up until the last couple of years, but he's been in the league for a couple of years. But again, he's in a great offense as far as position-wise. He may be the number 2 probably target technically on his team.
Okay.
But he's big-bodied. He's super tall. He's a big frame. And this quarterback loves using him. And it got proved last year.
Right.
So, if you guys haven't guessed it, it's David Njoku.
Yeah.
On the Cleveland Browns is my number 10.
Yeah.
Again, big frame guy, gets a lot of red zone work. Deshaun Watson loves throwing him the ball. And again, it's a guy that so far, as I've been prepping for my drafts, personally, I haven't heard anybody really talk about him. So it might be a guy that I might try to get in a little bit later rounds. You know, nobody's really paying attention to talking about.
He could be that,
because he had a great year last year. And on a total side note, total trooper, dude. He had like half his face burned and showed up next week to play. And like, dude, respect. Like
he's a lot of respect.
Like he ain't gonna. Like that's crazy, man.
That's respect.
Yeah, but that's my 10, man. Who do you got at 9? Who's your number 9?
Dang. So this guy. So my number 9 is he's a guy that I've drafted every year since he's been in the league.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so
you're a consistent pick.
Consistently, I'm targeting this guy in my drafts. I like I like having a tight end that has targets. You know, a tight end that is not just kind of blocking. Tight ends that are
blocking tight ends.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like when I see my tight end that I drafted in fantasy football go out there and block, man, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But this guy, he's getting a new quarterback this year.
Oh, okay.
That might give it away. New scenery. So he's got a new quarterback coming in. He's playing in a really, really competitive division where I see a lot of points being scored in this division.
So you think he's got red zone upside?
So it's like even when they get down to the red zone, I don't see the running back they have being strong enough to get in the red zone, and he's just a big body for that new quarterback.
Yeah.
And so I see him just.
So who's that?
Mr. Pat Freiermuth.
Oh.
Yeah, Patty Freiermuth. So I have him at 9. I think he's gonna be in the top 10. Top 10 tight end. He's already in top 10 every year, I think.
Yeah.
But, essentially, I see him having that year of really, really gelling with Justin Fields or Russell Wilson.
Hopefully Justin Fields.
Yeah.
We finally made that trade, by the way. We finally made the trade, just so y'all know, a little side update. I sent Joe Burrow. I sent him his guy.
So. You sent me Joe Burrow, and I sent him some people.
Yep. Including Justin Fields. So
and Anthony Richardson.
I need him to start. Whew. But, anyways, I like the pick. I like Pat Freiermuth.
I think Pat's going to be right at 9. I think he's right in that bucket of like, hey, there's not. You got Deontay Johnson leaving.
Yep.
You got George Pickens stepping up. And outside of that, who else is there to catch the ball?
Right.
So, and Najee, I see Najee and Jaylen Warren kind of running between in the green.
Jaylen Warren just got hurt.
He did get hurt. I saw that on
Sleeper. Got hurt, so that'll be interesting.
I see them running up and down the field, helping them get the first downs. But when it comes to that goal line, I think the biggest body wins. And, man.
He's good, too. He's very talented.
Dude. I think he's awesome.
Yeah.
So, But who's your number 9?
So my number 9 is a guy that... Here's a clue to start. It'll give it to you, but you guys try to figure out. It's a quarterback that I cannot stand this year.
Quarterback you cannot stand
is where this tight end plays. He probably is technically the second option for them.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I know exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, because I've expressed it between our text messages and phone calls. Ooh, yeah. But again, it's a guy that he's big framed.
Yeah.
He has upside. I think he finishes in the top 10.
Yeah.
Especially because a receiver left this team this offseason.
Man.
So he could get a little more work.
Can I guess when you're done?
Who do you think?
It's Evan Ingram.
It is Evan Ingram.
Hey.
Yeah, he is my number 9. Again, it's the upside of his position. Don't get me started on Trevor, but I think he's going to get a little bit more work. I think he had a pretty good season last year.
Yeah, I had him last year.
Top 5. So again, it's a guy that I think you could get a little bit later. I know some people have him a lot higher. That I've seen as far as like lists and other draft orders that I've looked at.
Yeah.
But I've got him at 9. I think it's a healthy spot to have him at, just because I don't know how Jacksonville looks. So it's not even a personal attack against Evan Ingram. I just don't know how Jacksonville looks this year. Yeah. So that's why I have him a little lower. It's just not faith in the offense.
Yeah.
But again, when you're talking about your 10 through your 7, a lot of these guys are interchangeable. Now, personally, drafting, I would take Njoku over Ingram on my team.
Oh, hands down.
But as far as like potential and points,
and opportunity,
Ingram might have more because But anyways, who's your 8, man?
Dang, I'm my number 8. I have a hot take about him, by the way.
Ingram?
Evan Ingram.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll tell you.
No, just drop it.
Drop it right here. Is it? I don't think Evan Ingram's going to be top 10 this year. I think he's going to. I think they brought in that new receiver. They drafted a new receiver. I think he's going to end up taking those targets. And Evan Ingram is going to split time with the other tight end they had there. And they're going to be playing.
Interesting.
There's another tight end there that they've been using. And I think he's going to actually end up blocking a lot more.
Dang.
As they develop these new wide receivers they brought
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see it happening. It's definitely not out of the realm of possibility for sure.
There's like a Parker kid there, and then some other rookie they drafted that's showing out right now, and then Christian Kirk. I think those 3 guys are going to get the targets.
Kirk's going to have a lot of targets.
ETN too, but that's just my hot take. I literally have Evan Ingram not in my top 10.
Oh, okay. But who's your 8?
My 8, number 8, man. This is probably the best. He plays for the best offense in fantasy football.
Oh.
One of the most, like, an offense that you watch and you're like, wow, this team, I don't know how they're not winning Super Bowls. They're not winning Super Bowls, right?
Oh, I know what this is.
You don't know how they're not winning Super Bowls. They've got a great offense. They got a great defense. They, year in, year out, dude's always in the top 10. Sometimes top 5. I mean, funny as it can be. I mean, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. You got to guess who he is?
I have 2 guesses, honestly.
Ooh, I'll give you one more clue. He plays for a team located in California.
Oh, what?
Mr. George Kittle.
Wow.
Yeah.
At 8?
At 8.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kittle's that low?
Dude.
Wow. And that is not who I thought you were going with. That is nowhere near what I thought. Wow.
Yeah, and so I got Kittle at 8 this year in tight ends. I see him also. I think bringing in Christian McCaffrey, they're going to try to not have Christian McCaffrey take 400. You touch the ball 400. I mean, they're going to have him touch the ball 400 times.
I'm telling you, Ayuk will not be playing. I could be wrong. Ayuk is still on San Francisco as of the recording of this episode.
Yeah.
But I just don't see, even if Ayuk stays, like, that's going to be a real shaky.
Dang, see.
Yeah, I think he'll be gone too.
See, I see this as Ayuk's going to just take the franchise tag and then ball out.
Oh, I think he wants to go to Pittsburgh.
And show.
Yeah, that's going to be a whole nother.
That'll be a whole nother episode, but I think Ayuk's going to take it, ball out, show that he's worth the money that he's demanding. And probably come out with reasonings why, and with that, they'll probably run the ball and actually try to protect Christian McCaffrey a little bit more with 12-set personnel, put 2 tight ends out there.
Right.
And have George Kittle just be that first down getter. You know what I mean? So that's my hot take.
Man, Kittle at 8.
George
Kittle
at 8.
Hot. That's hot.
Yeah.
Wow. You're going to, some 49ers fans are going to be
when you
upset
hear
on that
who
one.
I put at 7 above him, you'll be like, wow. But
yeah.
But anyway, who do you have at 8? I want to hear your 8.
So my 8, man, listen. So this guy, I don't think is more talented than the guys I've already listed. So again, he's good, obviously, right? He's a starting tight end in the NFL. So he's not bad. But as far as like talent wise, I would personally, if I had to pick based on preference or skill base, I would take him lower than my other 2 guys already. But he is in a prime scenario to get a lot of targets. His quarterback already likes throwing him the ball.
Okay.
But now, and this will probably be a dead giveaway to everybody, their big star wide receiver left them.
Oh, hold up.
So there is a bunch of targets to pick up. And they really don't have a ton of wide receivers in their room either. But their quarterback is generational. Did you pick it up yet? No, you look lost.
Do you guys
Let me
Travis
fill you
Kelce?
in. Dalton Kincaid of the
Okay.
Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
He's got so much room for upside, man. I mean, Diggs left. The receiver room's kind of a little bit weaker now. Or not a little bit, a lot bit weaker. Because also Gabe Davis left them. So, I mean, they're hurting a little bit. But also, Josh Allen's played with Kincaid for a couple of years. He likes throwing him the ball. The only hard part I have is I wish I could hyphenate this and put Dawson Knox. Because they split so much time.
There is a split there that I don't like.
And it's always a fight. Like, whoever, it's like, I swear they take turns in the red zone of, like, who gets got there.
And you're like, who is that? 80 what? 80 what?
86 or 88. Like, yeah. And it's like, man. Yeah, so the hard part is Kincaid and Knox. Now, I would love it. You guys let me know in the comments, man. Let me know if you're taking Kincaid first or Knox first and why. I like Kincaid better a little bit because if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I think Kincaid's been there a little bit longer than Knox.
Oh, no.
Or they've been there at the same time.
Kincaid was rookie last year, dude.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
well,
he did that as a rookie.
Well, then maybe Knox is just old. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Knox has been there for a minute.
Dang. So, yeah, I don't know what the chemistry is there then. Yeah. But, yeah, you let me know as far as if you're taking Kincaid or if you're taking Dawson Knox first. I've had better luck personally taking Kincaid as far as performance, but who knows? But I think I think if you take either of the Buffalo Bills guys in that spot, I'm not mad at it. Yeah. But yeah, that's my 8, man. Who's your 7?
Shoo. Okay, so 7. Yep. 7 is a guy that. Oh, I guess you could be cheating. I got my phone.
No,
there.
I haven't been looking. I have not.
I was like, how do you pick my last guy? 7, man. 7 is a guy that honestly, he was a rookie last year. Similar to Kincaid, right? He came out and like there was a really good tight end. Like tight ends last year, rookies were incredible.
Man, but this guy, if you say this guy's name, if it's the guy I'm thinking, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, rookie last year, man. He literally joined an offense that was high flying. I mean, he had a quarterback that just was out slinging the ball. I mean, that quarterback. I didn't put him in my top 10 this year, but last year he definitely was in the top 10. Just was like dotting people up. I mean, this guy was solid. And so the tight end just being another target for that quarterback, I see this year him solidifying that role, becoming a target option for the quarterback. Talking about him, it is Jake Ferguson.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying somebody else. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Relieved, man. I thought it was somebody else. But yeah, I like Jake Ferguson.
I see Jake Ferguson. And it's one of those things where I had him in one league, and honestly, I was bummed because I drafted him. And I was like, man, like I couldn't get a tight end in this league. I'm just gonna pick this rookie. I keep hearing good names. I picked him and Dalton Kincaid. By the end of the year, it was torn on who to start.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like, geez, do I start Kincaid or do I start Ferguson? But I mean, I did great in that league with those two guys. So I think he's one of those guys that aren't really on many people's radars. But I think he's gonna be in the top 10 this year. I think he's gonna get a lot of targets. I mean, Dallas has got to do something. And so they got Zeke there running, and I think short down.
I mean, they got CeeDee Lamb, but outside of that, I mean, as far as passing, he might be option number 2 out there. Yeah. Because Michael Gallup left.
Yeah.
So he might be the number 2 over there. Yeah, I like that pick.
I got Frank.
I think it's good.
Jake Ferguson.
All right.
My 7.
So my 7 is at least at a minimum spicy.
Ooh, minimum.
At a minimum. So I believe he was a rookie last year, actually.
Okay.
As well. He's a guy that it actually took the starting tight end to get hurt, I believe.
I know exactly what you're talking
about. For him to get a shot and to have a chance to play some football. And when he had his chance, probably midway through the league or through the year, he came out and they were like, oh, snap. This kid's good. Like, why are we not playing him more? So then they sent the beat up old veteran guy on his way. They said, man, see you later. We got a new kid in town. And that new kid is Trey McBride of the Arizona Cardinals.
You got him where?
I've got him at 7.
Okay.
Here's why.
Hey, I like it.
Marvin Harrison Jr., great threat. He's my number 10 receiver. Which, by the way, if you haven't watched our receiver video, go watch it or listen to it wherever you listen to us at. Yeah. We did our top 10 receivers earlier, but here's the thing: I think Kyler Murray has a great year. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is a phenomenal year.
Okay.
Here's the thing, though: they're going to be so distracted with Marvin Harrison Jr. Might open it up for Trey McBride a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, the idea being, I think he's the clear number 2 for receiving over there. And I think he's a super talented tight end. And I think Arizona does pretty well. They're getting James Conner back. They're getting pieces. And honestly, the Cardinals are one of those teams that people are kind of talking about, but they don't really know what to expect quite yet.
Don't know.
Yeah, you just don't know, which, hey, I don't blame him on that part. But I think Trey McBride has a good season, man. I think he gets a lot of red zone work. I think he's super talented. I think they're going to be, teams that are going to be doubling, maybe even tripling Marvin Harrison at some point in the season. He's going to have some one-on-ones, and I think he can win a lot of those. Yeah. That's why I got at 7. Who's your 6? Who's just outside your top 5 here?
All right, just outside my top 5. This was a tough decision. My 5 and 6 was tough. I sat and I essentially picked a guy that at the time he had a rookie quarterback coming in. So essentially, this is what I kind of deflated him because of a rookie quarterback coming in.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know you're talking right when you said it. I knew he's talking about.
And essentially, I sit today and I'm like, dang, okay, after all the breaking news of this rookie quarterback, getting hurt. You gave it away, but essentially the breaking news of JJ getting hurt. I was like, do I have TJ too low? I don't want to say I don't believe in JJ. I think JJ is going to be great.
Yeah.
But when you have a rookie quarterback coming in playing with a tight end that's been in my top 5 for the last couple of years, I had to put him at 6 just because I was like, I don't know how JJ and him are going to 12. JJ might just be forcing the ball to Jordan Addison, who got hurt too. Yeah. Or Jay Jettas, or I don't know where the ball's going. But now with Sam Darnold, competent quarterback play, we know what we're getting.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty concentrated targets. I think there was we don't have a sample size, but Sam Darnold, from what I can remember, what did he play before? He played like the Niners
Panthers.
And then the Panthers, and I think he literally just fed his tight ends.
Definitely. I think it was more of a Panthers one.
And I think it was one of those things where it was always like, dang, dude, Sam Darnold is hitting those tight ends a lot. Like, he's targeting those tight ends. So, essentially, TJ Hawkinson is my 7, or he's my 6.
Yep.
And I might have to move him up to that, 3 range.
I think his ceiling is top 3.
Like, his ceiling is 100% top 3.
His ceiling is top 3, no doubt in my mind.
So, and this is the hard part is there's 5 guys that I do think that are going to have way better seasons than him.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
So I'll leave it there.
Bad.
Who's your number 6?
So my number 6 is super talented guy. Gets a lot. Well, not this last year. The first 2 years he was in the league, got a lot of red zone work. Super talented. I think close to 1,000 yards receiving in the first 2 years, but not this last year.
No way. Go ahead.
You might be catching on. I think his season depends a lot on the quarterback play this year. I think it's a guy that either quarterback that starts, which is a clue. I think he has a lot of upside because I think both these quarterbacks love to throw to the tight end that they have.
Interesting.
If you haven't guessed it, it's Mr. Pat Freiermuth himself of the Steelers.
You got him at 6.
I got him at 6, and here's why. Russell Wilson absolutely loves throwing to his tight ends. And I'm not even counting. Listen, for all you people that say the whole Denver Broncos Russell Wilson, I'm pretending that era does not exist because here's the thing. That was so bad, it shouldn't be talked about. If we go back to Seattle Russell Wilson, he loved throwing the ball to his tight end when he was there. Oh, it shouldn't even be talked about. Broncos country. That's right. Yeah, we don't even want to go there. Wow. But his Seattle era, he loved throwing the ball to the tight ends that he had. Justin Fields, if we don't remember, in Chicago,
Cole Kmet
loved throwing to Cole Kmet. Had a huge year with Cole Kmet. So I think either scenario, he gets a lot of targets, especially on a team where they did lose Deontay Johnson. Now they've got George Pickens, and they've got Pat Freiermuth. So I see him getting a lot more target shares. I think I think that his ceiling is above a top 5 in my book.
Yeah.
Now, I think, for me, he's the biggest risk on this list for me.
Yeah.
Meaning he could be 6 or higher, or he could be 15 below. Yeah. Like, my floor for him is down there. Like, I'm talking in the 20s is his floor.
He could not even exist.
Right. So he, to me, is a bigger gamble than some of these other guys on this list. So that's why I kept him out of the top 5. But I do like him over some of these other guys that I've talked about. So far, but who's starting your top 5? Your top 5 is gonna be interesting. I'm very curious.
Yeah, that was a great pick, by the way.
You like that?
Honestly, I like him. I have Pat at 9. And we're
not far.
Like I love, like I said, I've had him since he was a rookie. Like I want that dude to succeed so bad.
Right.
I just don't it's hit or miss.
And that offense is a question mark. I get it.
And I hate risky bets. I always take the safe bets. Like you can ask me 2 + 2, and it's like I'm gonna say 4.
Give me a calculator.
It's safe. Give me a calculator. It's the safest thing.
Carry the 1.
Yeah, carry. No. But going to 5. My 5. This guy has not had a fair shake in the NFL. I'll start there. This guy is someone that I was very excited about. I don't know how excited I am now. He did get a new quarterback this year, and that has brought a little bit of excitement towards me about him. And so I think he's gonna have the year that I've been expecting him to have since he's been a rookie. But yeah, he essentially came in, joined an offense, and the head coach just, for one, used another tight end, or they didn't use him at all. Like, you know what I mean? And so I don't know if you guys can guess it, but essentially, this tight end is Kyle Pitts. Yeah, I am very.
Oh no!
I think this is the year that we see Kyle Pitts resurgence. Is it a resurgence? The first year he came out, the dude had like 1,000 receiving yards, and like literally, like he was like on fire. They were using him. The last couple of years, no idea what's going on. No idea what happened. I think last year he got hurt a little bit, but essentially, I think this year with the new quarterback that serviced T.J. Hawkinson pretty well. I think that those targets are going to go somewhere. You got Drake London. And I think Kyle Pitts is that next option, and you got Bijan running the ball. So I think Kyle Pitts is gonna have a good year.
If you want the hottest take I will give all year.
Yeah, let's get it.
The hottest take I will have this entire year is Kyle Pitts, and I'm so sorry if you're a Falcons fan. Kyle Pitts is the equivalent of Greg Oden in the NBA.
Oh wow.
That is my hottest take I'm going to have all year.
Wow.
I think Kyle Pitts is one of the biggest bust picks in the last at least couple years, minimum. Maybe even decade. I'd have to go look back and see who's taken high.
That's tough.
He had a good year. Ever since then, he has been atrocious is the word I can think of right now. Do I think he's got upside? Yes. Is he going to be in the top half of tight ends? Yes. So he's not the worst tight end in the NFL by far. 100%. Okay. But do I think the Falcons wasted their pick? Yes. I think they should not have taken Kyle Pitts at that slot.
I'm completely disagreeing.
I know. Listen, a lot of people love Kyle Pitts. A lot of people are in your boat. I've seen so many.
I'm not like over the moon. Love him. I got my 5.
But I've seen all these. Everybody's talking about Kyle Pitts.
Really?
A lot of people are really like think it's his year to come back. Genuinely, a lot of people, from what I've seen and looked at,
did not know that.
A lot of people are looking at Kyle Pitts like, okay, like and they're giving him at least a top 10 nod. He is not in my top 10 list.
Hey, that should be
that. Anyways, that is my hottest take, and I apologize to Greg Oden. I apologize to Kyle Pitts, but I kind of don't. But I do.
That Demi Lovato song.
Now we're getting the Demi Lovato, man. We're going everywhere. But
sorry, Demi, I butchered that, but it's alright.
Yeah, but anyways, that's a whole side piece on Kyle Pitts. But anyways, moving into my top 5, my number 5 pick, so I can get back on track here because I can deep dive into that.
I sent you on that.
But number 5, we'll keep rolling. So number 5 is a guy that had a great year last year. I say I don't know why his previous team moved on from him. I was very confused when they got rid of this tight end, and I was like, man, why would you guys trade him away? He's good. Like, he's a top 5 talent, let alone, I mean, they don't care about fantasy football, right? But even if you take fantasy football out of it, he's a top 5 talent of tight ends in the league right now, and he has been, and for years he was good. And I was like, man, why would this team trade him? And it felt like they traded him for nothing, really. But I was like, man, why would they get rid of this guy? But then the team he landed on, he's been doing good. And the guy that replaced him has been doing good. But if y'all didn't figure it out, I know you know. It's Mr. T.J. Hawkinson of the Vikings. I'm kind of on the opposite side of you. I gave him the 5 nod because Sam Darnold is going to be the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Because I think Sam Darnold is a little bit more established. Mm-hmm. JJ looked decent when he was playing, but now he's going to be out the whole season, which, man, that's a bummer. Coming in your rookie season, playing a little bit of preseason, and then just your year's done, you know? Which, total side note, NFL, please just move to no preseason. Make the regular season longer. I don't know if you saw the Roger Goodell interview, where basically they were going to lengthen the NFL season, get rid of preseason, have 2 bye weeks, and then Super Bowl Sunday would fall on, I think it was Memorial Day weekend. So everybody would have the Monday off after the Super Bowl. Yeah. Fantastic plan. They've talked about it.
Yeah.
Don't know when, if, or how that'll happen. But that would be fantastic. But anyways, because, you see guys like JJ just getting hurt, and it's like, man, he had a chance to come out here and have a great year.
Yeah.
And just gone because he's playing second and third string guys. You know? I don't know. I feel bad for him genuinely. But
a quarter of his rookie deal was gone.
Yeah, and now these guys are losing money. Yeah, it's a whole side thing. But anyways, I got TJ Hockenson at 5. I think Sam Darnold and him will do well. I know Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson are there, so that can obviously be tough as far as getting targets and shares. But even when he had Kirk Cousins there, he also was a great option. So I don't see him dipping too low. But yeah, he's starting off my top 5.
Nice.
But who's your 4?
So moving into 4.
Yep.
4 is a guy that I do not like the team he plays for. I cannot stand the team he plays for as just a...
Oh, I already know.
Yep.
I already know. That's all you had to say.
But he is very good. This tight end, I wish he played for my favorite team. I wish he played for my favorite team. Oh, yeah. This tight end is, I believe, he's going to be at 4. I don't know how they're going to divvy up the targets, essentially. This team got a new running back. This team's got a run-friendly offense.
Yep.
And sometimes they use them to block. Sometimes they use them to catch. But you just don't know. They got these young, new, exciting young receivers that they want to get incorporated. So
their quarterback likes to run too now.
Quarterback likes to run. So, I mean, that should give it away. But Mr. Mark Andrews himself at 4.
Yep.
And so I couldn't put him in my top 3. There are 3 guys I believe that are going to have better seasons.
Who's your top 3?
Yeah, you're going to be.
There's got to be one name I don't know. I mean, there's got to be 2 that are the same. But
there's a guy.
There's got to be a guy that top 3
is going to blow your mind.
Yeah, there's got to be.
But yeah, Mark Andrews, I got him at 4.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. Last year was a down year. I don't know if it was due to age or just due to
injury, man.
We don't know.
He's been getting hurt the last few years.
He was hurt, and it's like it could be hurt, it could be age, who knows? But I mean, I know last year the reason why, but it seemed like there was kind of a taper off a little bit. So
healthy,
I think safe. I think playing it safe, like I said earlier, I say I play it safe. I think Mark Andrews at 4 is a safe call on my end for fantasy football.
Yeah,
like you're not doing yourself.
Yeah,
like you're not like hating yourself for getting Mark Andrews. You know?
Yeah, because when Mark Andrews is healthy and he's playing at the level that we know he can, he's fighting for number 1, number 2 potentially. Like if he gets back to what he can do, and we've seen him do,
that dude's always made me cry.
Yeah, he could be top 2 for sure. But
But anyway,
like
4. Who's your
4? So number 4 is. He's a vet, man. He's been playing. He's been good. I say vet. I mean, he's been in the league for a couple years, right?
I was like.
He arguably is one of the most popular tight ends.
I know exactly what
in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's where I arguably. He's super talented. He's on a phenomenal team. Again, maybe even a playoff / Super Bowl bound team.
Yeah.
He wears red. He wears
play
yellow.
In California?
Well, not yellow. Actually, technically, it's not yellow. He wears red and gold.
Yeah, it's gold.
Red and gold. I apologize to my 49ers fans out there. Not yellow, it's gold. Mr. George Kittle is my number 4. We are way opposite on George Kittle this year. I know you've got him at, 8?
I had
8 or 9?
At 8.
8. So I'm at 4 on him.
Yeah.
I think again, as of this episode, Brandon Ayuk is still in San Francisco. I think either he'll be gone, or if he stays, I don't think they're going to try to utilize him because, unfortunately, I think he's going to get the short straw if he stays. George Kittle, super talented guy, in and out. He can block. He can do everything, man. So, yeah, I like Kittle. I like his red zone targets. And they just always do a lot of different stuff in that offense. Bro. And I think this year they want to keep using McCaffrey, but they've got to find a way to not just beat him up, man.
400 plus touches.
Yeah, if they keep doing that, he's only gonna have a year or two left. His body just won't be able to take it. Mm-hmm. But you've got bruisers like George Kittle in there. You've got Deebo Samuel. There's options. But what's crazy to me is even last year I was skeptical on taking Deebo Samuel, which, by the way, receiver list. I have Deebo Samuel on my top 10 list too because, dude, it seems like everybody in the Niners offense gets points.
Yeah.
Even though there's that many targets, I think they score so many points.
Yeah.
That it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter who you have.
It doesn't matter. You want a share of it. Whether it's Kittle, Deebo, McCaffrey, Purdy.
In weeks that you need a receiver, you could pick up Juwan Jennings.
Yeah.
And still get 5-6 points. I've been that desperate.
Juwan Jennings actually went to a local high school
in
Tennessee.
Yeah,
he went to Blackman High School.
Blackman, which is right.
Yeah,
here.
it's right over there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. He's a local guy.
Backyard. Yeah,
then he went to UT.
Yeah.
Then he went pro. But anyways, shout out Juwan Jennings.
I just learned that.
Yeah. He's a local kind of hometown guy in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
But anyways, I like Kittle at 4. I think it's a good year.
Hey.
But who's your number 3, man? Who's starting the top 3? Is this the guy? Is this the guy that I'm going to be shocked by?
No, you'll be shocked at 2.
Oh, 2. Okay.
You'll be shocked at 3.
I have time to prep. Okay.
You might be shocked at 3. I'll just make it clear. He plays with the best quarterback. One of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. You know, I'm gonna say it. He plays with the best quarterback in the NFL. It hurts me to say it, but it's just facts. And just recently coming back from a 2-time Super Bowl, gives it right away. But my number 3 is Travis Kelce. I've got him at 3.
Yeah.
Essentially, what's not to like about Travis Kelce? I think he's. I don't mind that. I actually enjoy Travis and Taylor's relationship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was already a fan of Taylor though.
Oh, you're a Swiftie?
Oh, dude, I'm big on Taylor. I'm not gonna lie.
He's a Swiftie.
I'm not like a Swiftie. That's an army. That's like obsession.
Said that's an army.
For real though, that's like an obsession.
Right.
But as a musician, I really do enjoy.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I enjoyed everything Taylor's. I think she's done a great job with her career.
Yeah.
Honestly, and Travis playing football.
Yeah.
Playing
Same
fantasy,
thing.
being from Ohio, I'm like, dude, this dude's legit. So
yeah, he's a hometown guy for you.
He's a hometown guy.
Cincinnati.
He's like a LeBron to me. No matter what LeBron does, I'm like, I got your back, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? Same with Travis.
Yeah.
I'm from Ohio. He's from Ohio. I'm like, hey man, you can do no wrong.
Yep.
Like, OH. That's good. But no, Travis Kelce, I think he's gonna have a good year. I think he's gonna have a good year. I don't know if he's gonna be that elite number 1, but I can't knock Travis Kelce. He's the all-time.
He's got to be top 3.
He's literally all-time tight end right now. I think, in yards.
That would be a great conversation as far as the best tight end.
Who's the best tight end of all time? I literally think it's him. Gronk's up there clearly, but anyway.
Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah, there's guys up there.
Antonio Gates doesn't have the amount of stats, but he was a great talent. Anyways, that could be maybe a whole other video. Maybe we'll do a greatest position. I think
he's just so versatile. He could do it all. I see. But anyway, with that, I think that offense, if anything happens with Rashee Rice, I see Travis eating. And I see Xavier Worthy opening up the field with the deep threat. I see Rashee Rice being that route runner, getting those 50-50 balls, getting good catches there. And I think Travis is just going to be that guy open in the middle, across the middle, just eating up everybody's lunch. Yeah. He going just taking people's lunches, eating it. Yeah. So anyway,
I like it. It's a great pick.
Not too big of a build up, or I just straight up to them.
Right.
But yeah, who's your number 3?
So my number 3 is a guy that when he is on it. He is one of the top talents in the league.
Interesting.
When he is off, it is, how do I say, hard to watch. Now, mind you, it has not been his fault recently because he cannot stay healthy. So if he could stay healthy, he would be, no questions, up there all the time for me, year in and year out. Okay. I still have him bouncing back this year, but that's Mr. Mark Andrews. We talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
I think he's got great upside. I think Derrick Henry comes in, brings some goal line work, which is nice.
Yeah.
But they don't have a whole lot of wide receivers over there. They got Zay Flowers, talented.
Great.
But who else do they have in the passing game? I think Mark Andrews might be that number 2 option. Yeah. And I think especially if you start putting Derrick Henry goal line, A, he's going to start scoring. B, you're going to have people start stacking the box. Maybe throw a play action in there. We'll pass out to Mark Andrews. So you might get some good goal line work. But again, we talked about him a lot. He's very talented. If he can stay healthy, he's a top 5, year in and year out. Unfortunately for him, he's just had the injury bug the last couple of years. But who's your number 2, man? I've been waiting to hear this. This is the one you told me.
All right, number 2. Number 2 is playing with a guy. His quarterback is a generational, talented quarterback. Okay. All right, that's my start there.
Okay.
Like you said earlier, the dude. I think he might have mentioned him, but the dude is very, very, very talented. There's a lot of targets in this offense that have been vacated over the last year. The sky is the limit. He could be the number 1 target for this offense this year. Wow. And so I'll give you a couple more hints because this guy, I could sit on this guy for a minute.
I'm still lost. Yeah, I'm lost right now.
I'm throwing weird
things, but weird
this will give it away. His number 1 and number 2 wide receiver on his team, the options number 1, number 2, actually moved teams.
Oh.
They have a new rookie wide receiver. He's been the guy. He was a rookie last year. And if you haven't guessed yet, it's Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah. Wow.
I saw the way Josh Allen said Dalton Kincaid last year, and I said, look, I drafted him in Dynasty. My honeymoon. I think I texted you about doing a bet. I'm literally at my honeymoon Monday night.
Didn't happen.
I sent you a text being hey, I can't bet in Montana. Yep. If I cash out you some money, can you put this bet down for me?
Allegedly.
Oh, shoot.
Allegedly.
None of that happened.
Allegedly, that happened.
Nope, but yeah.
Allegedly.
We not telling.
He never sent me any money. He just said I should check out his bet.
I just gave him some advice to check out my bet I was placing.
Wanted to place.
And Montana make betting legal.
Right. Yes,
I love Montana, but come on, maybe some
online betting, make it
online betting, make it legal. But
number 2,
Dalton Kincaid, man. I'm very bullish and excited about him this year.
All right, we're a little bit opposite on that guy, but we'll see. I like Dalton Kincaid. I just don't know if he's gonna finish that high. But yeah, I like it. So number 2, man, my number 2. He's a guy that he hurt me. That's all I can say.
I knew you were gonna say that. Though.
He hurt me. He hurt me last year. Oh, it was pain and agony, defeat.
Week in, week out, this dude was trying to trade him.
Dude,
the first half of the week,
it hurt me. It was the first year I took him, and I was so stoked to have him. And I was like, man, this guy's gonna win me a league. He's won people leagues before. He's done it in years past. Just superstar. I'm like, there's no way he'll let me down. Mr. Travis Kelce. He let me down last year. Damn. Now, mind you, here's again where I put the disclaimer in. Fantasy football does not translate to real life football.
Oh, no.
Because they won the Super Bowl.
Dude, he did great.
So obviously, he was doing something right.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He was doing his job.
Yeah.
But his job required a little bit more from him in different areas and aspects than it does in fantasy football. Mm-hmm. And I personally felt the pain of it. It's the first year I took Travis Kelce in a draft. And it hurt. Man, but
you took him early too. I remember.
Dude, I don't even want to talk about it.
I was sitting on the floor like, dang, that's pretty early, dude.
I don't want to talk about it. But here's the thing. Again, you can't have him out of the top 3. Top 2 even is an argument. He's so good.
He's going to be there.
And
somewhere else.
He's reliable. He's played with Mahomes all these years. It's his favorite target, period. Yeah. I don't care what receiver joins that team. It's probably still going to be Kelce as his favorite target.
Oh, yeah.
His role. That's enough said. There's nothing else for me to talk about with him.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that he let me down a little bit last year, but I forgive you.
Dude.
But,
shoot.
Who's your number 1, man? Who's the guy to go get?
Dude.
This better, man. We better have the same one.
We better have the same
one. I'm just
gonna pause for a minute and just count down. And when I say 1, the next thing coming out of our mouth is gonna be the number 1 pick. If it's not the same, awkward. But we
said it's not the same. Awkward.
But there's no way. I think I'm not because we're gonna have a segment. I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1.
Hayden Hurst.
Yo, Hayden Hurst.
I
was like, yo.
No, I'm playing, man.
He plays for. No, he doesn't play for the
No, he doesn't. Anymore. No, he plays on Carolina.
No,
I got Sam Laporta.
Sam Laporta?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm going to let you go on that. Cause
Sam Laporta, again, number 1, he's going to be the next generation tight end.
Dude.
Meaning, he's going to be the Kelce. He's going to be that guy. He had a phenomenal rookie year. He's on a loaded offense. Even with all the other targets to go around, he still had a phenomenal year. Honestly, I don't have much else besides draft Sam Laporta.
Yeah.
And
if he comes across your board, just pick him.
Yeah, if you can get him I wouldn't take him first round because I think obviously receivers, running backs, there's some positions. But round 2, you might consider him over some wide receivers that are out there. Genuinely, he's got that upside. But again, another team that I want any part that I can get. I want Jahmyr Gibbs. I want Amon-Ra. I want Sam Laporta. I'll even take David Montgomery, if it's a little bit later on.
Bro, I might be picking Jared Goff. Go back to our quarterbacks. I might be picking Jared Goff.
Right. Yeah, the Lions is another offense.
I'm like, hey, man.
Niners, Lions, dude. If you have any piece of that, offense, you're not mad.
Yeah.
But, that rounds out both of our number 1s.
10.
So now for the what we call the extended version, right? Where you guys here on Spotify, YouTube.
Yeah, this is
always, you guys get a little bit more information. We do our honorable mention, our sleeper pick, our dark horse. You guys already know what those are. If you don't know what they are, go back, watch other episodes. Our last 3 episodes, we covered quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, and now we're on tight ends.
Yeah.
But, man, who is your honorable mention?
So for my honorable mention, I'm just going to give the name and then tell you about it. Yeah. Because this is, I'm excited. So honorable mention-wise, I think it's Trey McBride. You mentioned him earlier. You got him in your top 10.
Yeah,
I think he's going to be. Yeah, I think he's going to be right in that at 11, right? I'm like, hey, man, I couldn't put him in there. Yeah. There were some names I put in there that I'm like, if any of those guys get hurt, I'm throwing him in there. 100%. Dude, McBride has the most beautiful runway to be something great this year.
Great position, great team to take off.
The middle of the field's wide open. Everything, it's turning up to be like Kelce.
Yep.
You heard it here first. Who's your honorable mention?
Honorable mention, rip the Band-Aid off, Mr. Jake Ferguson.
Oh, Dallas Cowboys. We were right there then.
Right there. What was he at yours?
I have him at... I have him at 7.
7? Okay. Well, we flipped.
Yeah.
Trey McBride was my 7. So, again, I think these two guys are pretty interchangeable. Not interchangeable, but you know what I mean.
Somewhere in that range.
I think they're both great pickups to have. But, you covered Jake Ferguson earlier. But, it's funny. We had almost the exact same opposites in those same exact guys. But who's your sleeper?
So, sleeper is David Njoku.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I had him at 10, so, he's right there.
Yeah. And so I see him as he's not going to be outside the 15. I don't know Deshaun Watson, man. Honestly, I don't know.
That's the bigger question mark.
I'm like, man, just a couple times he looked great. Start of the year last year, I was like, is this dude can he even play football? Is he done? So I don't know. I don't know what to think of him, but he does like David Njoku. Yeah. He feeds him the ball, and that's great. Yep. I'll put him in my sleeper. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I like it.
Who's your sleeper?
Luke Musgrave.
Oh, shoot.
Of the Green Bay Packers. Go ahead. That's my sleeper. Yeah, I think he has a good year. I think it's a guy you can get later on in the draft. I think Jordan Love and him have a pretty decent connection. They've got receivers in Green Bay as far as Jaden Reed, Christian Watson. But here's the problem. Christian Watson has been getting hurt a lot recently. And I think Luke Musgrave he's a young talent. I think he's good, and I think he has a pretty good year. Now, he may be under top 15. I think his ceiling is above top 15. But he's a guy that, like, if I'm getting later in the rounds and I forgot to take a tight end or all these other guys are off the board, I might take Luke Musgrave, see what he can do.
Dude.
But who's your dark horse, man?
My dark horse was going to be Luke.
Oh,
but the reason why I had to completely go off of him because there's already so many mouths to feed in that offense that I was like, I can't do that. But dark horse wise, it's Chig. I can't even say his last name. Tennessee Okonkwo. Is that your guy too?
Man, he's reading my notes, guys.
Oh, dang.
I've got Okonkwo as my dark horse too, man.
Oh, we could have.
It's a great pick. Dude. Tell me more.
So Chig. Man, dude, I see Will Levis balling out this year. Yep. Honestly, I see Will Levis having a year.
Yep.
I see, even if they added all these receivers, I see that middle of the field being wide open. I see Tony Pollard being able to run the ball efficiently. Not saying Derrick Henry was great.
Yeah.
They had to have two guys come in to do what he's doing, and I think those two guys doing what they do. Tony Pollard and Tajay Spears are going to be great. That's going to be a great scheme, but it leaves that middle of the field wide open for Chig to eat up all those dump balls from. If Calvin Ridley and D-Hop's not open, it's going to Chig.
Yeah.
And I think that is why he's my dark horse. I just see him having a great year.
I'm literally echoing. Same exact thing. I think the exact same thoughts. He's a big body. He's talented. And I think the Titans have a good year, and I think Will Levis ends up finding them a lot.
I think the Titans are going to be a
playoff team. You think they make playoffs this year?
I was watching them tonight. I think the Titans will be 11-6. Is that the record? Is that
18? Right? 18 weeks. Well, the bye week.
The bye week. So it'd be 10-6.
Okay.
This year.
You think they win the division?
Second.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Not bad. But that's our top 10 tight ends, and also our sleeper and dark horse and honorable mention, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But hey, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Please, if you haven't had a chance, go watch our other videos. Also, like, subscribe, share it with your friends.
Comment.
Man, we've loved interacting with you guys and all the feedback we've gotten. Let us know your top 10 tight ends for fantasy football this season. Our next episode will be coming out next Wednesday. Yes. But I know a lot of you guys are going to be drafting between that week. So good luck in your fantasy football drafts. If you guys have questions, just let us know. If you're drafting later on, let us know. If you got questions. But I don't think I'm gonna spoil what our next episode yet is. I think we're just gonna go ahead and do our next episode.
That was a fun little series of fantasy football.
Yep.
The next episode, I can tell you, it's not gonna be fantasy football related.
Maybe
it will be. Maybe it will be. But you
never know.
Stay tuned. Seriously, it should be good. It should be fun.
Yep.
And thank you guys so much for all the love for us.
Yep, we appreciate it. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share it out. And tag us with your questions. But that pretty much wraps up this episode of 4th and 2.
4th and 2, episode 4. We're out.
See you guys.